Hello everyone, I'm Rachel and I welcome you all to Executive Corner Expert Talks. Today I'm with Henry Albrecht. Henry is the CEO of Limeade. Limeade is an industry-leading SaaS employee engagement company that serves some of the smartest companies in the world. Here at 𝐾𝐤𝐴LKINE, we bring you industry leaders, successful business owners, market and equity advocates, all under one roof to help you discover the insights of the stock market and help you understand how you can create multiple passive income streams. Welcome to Henry.
Thank you, Rachel. It's great to be here.
Great to speak with you today. Now, Limeade is focused on employee experience with a strong focus on employee well-being. How do you define well-being and why is it so important for employers to acknowledge?
We define well-being as feeling good and living with purpose. And what we found is that when employees feel that their company cares about their well-being, they're 4 times less likely to be so stressed that they burn out. They're 7 times more likely to want to stay 3 years or more. And they're 10 times more likely to recommend their company as a great place to work. So for us, well-being is at the heart of the employee experience.
And you've recently had a very exciting announcement with the acquisition of employee listening software provider TinyPulse. And you also are in partnership with Microsoft. Now, can you give us a rundown of these announcements and what do they mean for Limeade?
Well, first about TinyPulse is a known leader in the employee listening world with over 500 customers all over the world, including in Australia, some governmental entities and companies down there. So that's really exciting for us because, as I said, well-being is the heart of the employee experience, but listening is really at the heart of well-being. We found in our own Limeade Institute research that if you can listen, learn from, and act on the feedback of your employees, you will drive maximum participation and action towards improving your well-being. So there's just this natural fit between listening and well-being. It's a great company, and we're acquiring also over 70 incredible employees split between North America here in Seattle and the Asia Pacific region in Saigon, Vietnam as well. So that's super exciting. And with regards to Microsoft, I think if you take this well-being and employee listening, this immersive experience that we offer to large employers and their employees, and then you put it in the flow of work in the biggest, most used productivity platform in the world with Microsoft Teams and O365, which they're calling Microsoft Viva Employee Experience Platform. We're excited that we can get more people into our experiences, help more people, and we hope be a great collaborator with one of the biggest and best companies in the world.
It really does sound like this collaboration will be an accelerator for Limeade. Now, Henry, if we could just talk about financials. Limeade also recently released its quarterly cash flow report. Can you run us through the results and the company's outlook for the next quarter?
Yes, happy to. The good news is we've reaffirmed our guidance for the year. Our plan was to lose in terms of EBITDA between $5 and $8 million this year. And we're on track to that, as well as to make 50 to 53 million in revenue, also on track to that. So we've reiterated our guidance, and nothing really out of the ordinary in terms of notables on the cash flow. We're also looking forward to, I wish I could be there in person. Unfortunately, there's this COVID-19 thing that's interrupted a little bit of our travel and some of our business as well. But at the end of August, we'll have our mid-year review as well, where we'll maybe share a little bit more about what's going to happen in the next 6 months as well.
Yes, we're all very used to those Zoom meetings by now. So
Yes.
Your solutions are grounded in science, if we go back to the methodology of Limeade, and this is to improve the well-being of employees. Can you explain the methods of your technology and the uses for encouraging engagement, well-being, and the inclusion of all employees?
Absolutely. So when we started the company, it was critical that we established our core in science. One of our values is to speak plainly and to use data in accurate and proper ways. We pioneered the world's first well-being assessment that covered 35 dimensions of well-being, covering physical, emotional, financial, work, and mostly mindset factors, positive psychology. We've layered on top of that interesting science around the role the organization plays in making people feel supported and cared for. Things like how leaders show up in videos, or how managers show up in bite-sized interactions with their teams, or how can teams and peers connect and include each other in employee resource groups or other things like that. So that's the core element. Is we have a Limeade Institute and we're committed to implementing their science. The way it shows up is not just are we offering physical activities for well-being or emotional training for resilience and mindfulness, but also employee engagement, listening, making sure we can help managers be good. And diversity, equity, and inclusion and ESG, those are huge trends that executives at large companies don't know exactly what to do with. And Limeade has surveys and content and activities and gamified points and rewards to help people create more inclusive workplaces as well. And all of this comes in a little mobile application, and soon a Microsoft Viva experience that you can basically fit right into the flow of your workday.
Excellent. And you mentioned Microsoft there, but you're also serving some other very large companies. What have been your strategies and values behind capturing such a substantial market base?
Well, our purpose has always been to transform work into a source of positivity and energy and humanity and purpose. And I feel like there are a lot of companies out there now, especially in the post-COVID world, thinking, I need to now deal with remote work, with distributed workforce. The supply chain's more globalized than ever, but there are certain core values and ways of doing business that we need everyone to do. So having platforms like Limeade that connect on real human topics like engagement and well-being and inclusion, and even the communications capabilities, those are essential in building a global culture and a global brand. So we really bring our purpose to bear in that. And I guess one value we bring is we're a team. We're a team of people now spread all out throughout the world, with offices in the US and Canada and Germany, and soon to be Saigon once this transaction closes by the end of the month, which only has a couple days left in it.
Excellent. And just finally, Henry, what is the current market demand for employee experience technology? And do you believe that the pandemic has helped or hindered that?
I think the market is exploding for employee experience software. Our research shows that if you invest in your employee experience, 50% of workers immediately feel more productive. So that's a big deal to executives around the world. IDC recently released a report saying that they expect 28% compound annual growth rates for both the well-being and the employee listening spaces, the space that Limeade's known for and the space that Limeade is entering with our acquisition of Tiny Pulse. And they estimate it in the tens of billions. Limeade's estimate is it's a $22 billion software market globally. And Microsoft's estimate is 300 billion. It's probably somewhere in the middle, but we view this as a high growth and huge market and looking for technology leaders.
Excellent. Well, Henry, thank you so much for the work that you are doing with companies, and thank you very much for your time today.
Rachel, it's been my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Great to chat to you. With that, I'll sign off for now. If you missed any part of this interview, you can catch it on our websites and YouTube later today. Watch this space for more. Till then, stay apprised and invest wise with 𝐊𝐚𝐥𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐞.